Her and her teammate was walking toward me, and I was like, man, she's gorgeous. She had a nice haircut. What do they call it? A bob? Not a bob, but like a Halle Berry haircut.
Almost. So meanwhile, while I'm being introduced to Mike, I'm looking right past him because there's about 3 guys.
I didn't know you were looking past me like that. I do remember you saying that you didn't remember beating me on that first day, which is cool, but I didn't know you were looking past me. Why you gotta sit so higher than me?
I'm taller than you. Go ahead.
You want to start it off?
No.
No. What's up, everybody? Welcome to
Our channel?
Life with the McIntyres. Alright. What's up, everybody? Welcome to
Life with a...
Without the coughing, though.
We didn't practice this.
Yeah, we not supposed to practice.
Well, then how are we supposed to know what to say?
What's up, guys? Welcome to...
Oh my gosh, we're doing this a third time?
You know what to do.
Oh my god.
You know what to say now.
Life with the McIntyres.
No, but you gotta do it on key, though. Alright, you ready? What's up, everybody? Welcome to...
Life with the McIntyres.
Yeah, we got it! Anyway, so we are coming to you today to talk about how we met. And because my wife, she always has her own little story, I'm gonna leave it up to her to start off. And then I'll jump in.
This is not my video. This is my husband's...
It's Life with the McIntyres.
How come I gotta start off when you're like, babe, I have an idea for a video, and then I always have to do the talking?
Well, everybody else is doing it.
You do the talking. I'll interject. Action.
Okay, anyway, so how we met.
It's because you never know the story. You never know what you're gonna say. That's why you always put me on the spot.
Shantae and myself both went to Fresno State. We both played basketball at Fresno State. But anyway, it was the first day of school. It was my senior year, her freshman year at Fresno State. And I can remember her walking down the quad, and it's where everybody was hanging out. Why are you smiling at me like that?
I mean, should I look at the camera instead?
You can look at me. But anyway.
Like, there's just 2 of us in the room.
So we were hanging out. I was hanging out in the quad, sitting down on this little bench. I looked to my right, and as I look to my right, I see one of her teammates and her walking toward me. And I had to do like a double or a triple take, and I was like, wow, she's hot. So I turn around and I look at her.
You said hot in the 1900s? Oh, I guess early 2000s. You said hot, though?
This is my story, right?
All right, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't say hot. But. So anyway, like I was saying, so I see her and her teammate walking toward me, and I'm like, whoa. She is bad. She had a nice Halle Berry haircut, just nice, petite, and...
Petite?
She was skinny with a big old booty.
Okay.
Is that better?
I mean, because I'm 6 foot tall, so I've never in my life been described as petite.
Petite can also be shapely. Not shapely. Shapely is bigger, but...
I mean, party on. It's your story.
Okay.
I was a 6 foot petite woman. Got it.
Welcome to Shantae. Go ahead, baby. Tell your side of the story.
Keep going. This is a new version I've not heard yet. Keep going.
You have heard.
And so then, with these adjectives, I've not heard it. Keep going.
Okay. So, like I was saying, her and her teammate was walking toward me, and I was like, man, she's gorgeous. She had a nice haircut. What do they call it? A bob? Not a bob, but... like a Halle Berry haircut.
Pixie, almost.
Yeah. She had these short shorts on.
On the first day of school?
Ted, will you be quiet? Oh
you told me to interject.
No, don't interject like that. On the first day of school, yes, you had some short shorts on.
Okay.
And what were they called? Like wallabies?
Wallabies? What is a wallaby? What is a wallaby?
Ted, I got a lot of editing to do.
What is a wallaby?
The shoes that you had on.
I sound like a hot mess. Shorts and wallabies. You're good.
No.
Okay.
Know what I'm supposed to
and
say
then I was walking up to you,
Yes.
My shorts and my wallabies.
So now I got to go back because I'm gonna have to edit some of that. Since you keep on.
Party on. It's not
Go
editable. Keep going.
Yeah, it is editable. Beautiful green eyes. Yeah, beautiful green eyes.
You said it like you forgot what color my eyes were. Why did you say it like that? Like you looked at me for
Be
confirmation.
quiet. We're like 6 minutes into this, and I only got like I haven't even met you yet. Come on.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Thank you. Yes, please. So anyway, for the 7th time.
Why do you keep saying that part? Just skip to. Okay, keep going. I'll shut up.
Let's see how long this lasts. Like I kid you not. When I saw her and her teammate, I was like, I'm gonna marry her. Like everything in me, hand on the Bible, I said I'm gonna marry her. And why are you looking like that? Oh
my god!
You like you never heard that part before. I didn't say that. You never heard that before?
I can't look. I can't talk. I promise he loves me, you guys. Keep going.
Okay. So I'm looking at her and her teammate, and it just seemed like everything froze except her walking toward me. So the funny thing about that is we didn't even date until what, 2 years later almost? A year and a half? About a year and 8 months later. But I saw her and I was like, I'm gonna marry her. Only thing about that is I've always been a shy guy until after I graduated from Fresno State, and I'll let her tell you the story about me getting some confidence. But yeah, so like I said, we both played basketball at Fresno State, and we would meet, not necessarily, like it wasn't like a scheduled meetup, but somehow we would always end up in a training room at the same time. So I would get some ice on my knee, or she would get her ankles taped up or something like that. And we just happened to always be there at the same time. And then after a while, I would start walking her to class. And for the longest, she thought I had a class in the same building, which was all the way on the other side of campus. I would walk with her to class, and it was probably a few months later when she realized, like, this dude doesn't even have a class over here, but he keeps walking me all the way to my class. So I would make myself available to walk her to class without her knowing that I was walking her to class. And that was like basically how we met. And then also my senior year, I broke my ankle right before going into my senior year. So when I stopped playing my senior year at Fresno State, then I ended up being on the practice squad because they had a bunch of injuries and stuff like that on the women's practice squad. On the women's team, they had a bunch of injuries and stuff. So they would have some of the guys that either played at Fresno State before, or some of the guys in like rec leagues and stuff like that. We would go in and we would practice with them to make them better. So through all of that, we actually started to become really good friends. So come graduation day at the end of my senior year, the day before I graduated, and this is when I was like, all right, you know what? She may like me a little bit, but at that time I was still shy. I actually had braces on the whole time that I've known her. So the day before graduation, we met right outside the training room. When we met, I had my braces off, and I ran into her as I'm coming back from the orthodontic.
Okay, my turn. Sorry, is that okay?
No, let me finish. Hold on. So, you don't want me to tell this part of the story?
No, you can tell it, because I think it'll be interesting to meet here when I tell my side of the story.
Okay, yeah, and I was actually, so like up to my up to me graduating, that's when I was going to have
So let me tell you my undergrad.
Hold on.
Let me tell my story from first day of school till that moment, and then we'll continue on.
So before the...
So, first day of school, I chose Fresno State because I wanted to marry a football player. And I had definitely scouted the roster, and I had decided which guys I was going to introduce myself to. And so, at the quad, on the first day of school, when I was wearing wallaby shoes, evidently, which does not sound like me, I had already memorized probably like 4 or 5 guys that I was excited to meet in person.
One not being me.
Correct. Because you weren't on the football team. You weren't even on. So I saw several of those guys in the quad. So meanwhile, while I'm being introduced to Mike, I'm looking right past him because there's about 3 guys.
I didn't know you were looking past me like that, though. I do remember you saying that you didn't remember meeting me on that first day, which is cool, but I didn't know you were looking past me. That sounds even bad.
I mean, no offense to you. You weren't on my radar.
No, but we still married, though.
So relax.
I got the girl.
So I did probably meet him on the first day of school. I don't remember meeting him on the first day of school. But you're going to be mad at me for this part. You may edit this out if you want to. But there were several Mikes on campus, as you could imagine, right? Mm-hmm. And so there was White Mike. That's not him. There was Kappa Mike. That's not him. And then there was Big Booty Mike. And that was him. And so
I'll probably edit that out.
And so Big Booty Mike was really a nice guy. He had braces and just really charming and sweet, but like not my type when I was in college. Because I never had a boyfriend in high school. I never had any guy attention. And so when I got to college, it was like, I don't know.
The floodgates came open.
It really did. I think because I went to a predominantly white high school and there were no black guys to be found. And so I didn't even know that I was cute until college. Then I got to college and I was like, oh crap, I'm cute. And so, I don't know. I just was really into guys who just had a lot of confidence and, Mike didn't really fit that bill at that point. So we played, he's correct, I played basketball at Fresno State, and he was on the walk-on team, or the practice team. And so we had a roster of about 10 women, and the 10 women slowly started getting more and more injured. And so we had 6 active members on the roster, and so we couldn't even scrimmage. And so the coach brought in some athletic men who could play against us. And so Mike was among the guys. And Mike was just a really nice guy. He played a guard and I played like a forward, so we didn't really like guard each other, but we knew that Mike would, turn the ball over if we needed a break or miss a shot really bad if we needed, to win the scrimmage game. Oh, my light went out. I'm so sorry, guys, that the light's going to change here. Our lighting went out. So Mike was just a really nice guy. And my teammates would always tell me, like, Mike likes you, Mike likes you. And I'm like, in my core, I was still pretty insecure myself, actually, even though I found this, like, new swag. I was like, no, he doesn't. Like, that's silly. No, he doesn't. Because my experience so far in college would be that if a guy liked me, he was really, like, bold about it, right? They weren't, sort of subtle and just sort of found themselves in the training room at the same time. They were more like, can I get your number? Or, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, that wasn't you at all. So then it got to the point where even though we never exchanged numbers, I just really looked forward to your company. And so come the last day of school, we ran into each other, and you can interject at any moment if you want to. But I know exactly what you're talking about. It's funny that you remember the exact spot, because I remember the exact spot.
That little breezeway.
Yep. And so you're standing there, and I saw you. And a couple of funny things about Mike, too. He always has his pack on, his little
I don't
cell
have
phone.
nothing on right now.
If you look at our pictures on Instagram.
If you follow us on Instagram, yeah, you'll see I always have my phone on my hip, which I know I need to stop, but it's been habit since college.
Probably before then.
I didn't have a phone.
And Michael used to have a two-way and a cell phone. And he would carry them on the same side of his hip, and they would kind of pull his pants down. So then he would like hold his pants up, so with his little pinky out, like he would walk and hold his pants up on that side.
Back to. Yeah.
So here,
no, but everybody still talks about me to this day about me having my utility belt on.
Yeah, it didn't add to your swag points at all. But so I see Mike coming with his hand on his hip, holding his utility belt up. But I guess even if you put it on 2 different sides, it still would not have been cooler.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, then I'd be walking around like this.
I mean, either way, it wasn't cool. But I see him coming, and I'm like, Mike, what's up? And then he had just, from my understanding, got his braces off.
Just
I'd
left
never
the
seen
orthodontics
him with his braces off. And he was just smiling and beaming. And it was the first time I saw, like, a real confidence in you. Right? And so...
Oh, I was ready. I was like, oh, my teeth look good right now? Because if you would have seen me in high school, my teeth were like, it looked like a theater of seats. I just had teeth everywhere. So for me to have, like, straight bling, Oh, I was ready for the world. And I was about to graduate from Fresno State the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, you were feeling life.
Yeah.
But it was like your swag, the fact that you were leaving, you know what I mean? It was like everything all, it sort of like it overwhelmed me that I was like, crap, like one of my best friends is about to leave, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, do you want to say that? Or?
I think so.
And so then I started crying because I realized that you were going to leave.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, what's going on? I'm about to graduate tomorrow and I'm leaving the next day. And she was like, you're leaving where? And I was like, moving back to LA. And she was like, and she just started crying. And I was like, oh, it's all right. It's gonna be all right. I gave her a little hug and everything. And she was like, I don't know why I'm crying right now.
It was awkward. It was awkward. I was like, crap, why am I crying? Because I didn't expect that I was going to cry.
Yeah.
And then you left.
Yeah, and then I left.
We didn't exchange numbers, nothing.
That whole time we never even exchanged numbers. After that encounter, like I said, I moved down to LA, and my mom still lived in Fresno. So I would come back every so often, and one of the times I came back, I went to one of the college parties, one of the frat parties, and she was there with her teammates. And by that time, I had been in LA working with my sister, and I just, I got a confidence from working with her and her husband, and I don't know, I just
grew into a man.
Exactly. I grew into a man and just got my swag, and yeah, I was ready to go. But anyway, like I said, I came back and I ran into her at the at the frat party. And I never remember. As soon as I walk into the door, she's one of the first people that I saw. It was you, Sophie, and somebody else. I think it was VMAC.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And she didn't drink, but it looked like she was so drunk. Because she was just, like she said, she came from a square school and she had been in college for a year. So she was just like wilding out. And I was like, oh man, like she wild now. She drinking and all that kind of stuff. But like when I got up to her, I didn't smell any alcohol and none of that stuff. But again, I see her and she's like, oh my God, Mike.
Yeah,
and she runs over to me. She gave me a hug. She's crying again. She had on this little short leather skirt. She had on these little 1 inch.
1 inch?
Because she's already tall.
Because I'm petite.
Yeah, because she's already tall and petite. So she had on these like little 1 inch heels.
They had no boots.
They weren't boots.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember.
Okay.
I remember. Anyway, so I run into her there and she starts crying again. And I was like, man, this girl cries a lot. And I hang out with her for a little bit that night, and then I get
like
with
5 seconds.
Some
really?
of my boys.
Yeah, I didn't hang out with you at all that night. So, and I was embarrassed, number one, because I did look like a hoochie. I did have a leather skirt on. I had boots on for sure. I know that I had boots on. And I had a pink sheer, it was the late 2000s, so I had a sheer shirt.
Disclaimer.
Right?
Yeah.
And like a bra underneath. Mm-hmm. And so it was like sheer and had sparkles here. And so I was a little bit embarrassed that I was like looking a little naked. And so that was a little bit of my shock and a little bit of my like hyperness because I was like uncomfortable. And we just having, like I don't have to drink to have a good time. I still am not that way. I have to drink to have a good time, but I can definitely match the energy of all the drunk folks. And that's part of the fun of going out with drunk people. And so, I was definitely, I could understand 100% how he thought I was drunk, but I definitely wasn't drunk. I think it's really crooked, our camera. Should I straighten it? It looks okay, because you're kind of heavier than me. Okay. And so then.
Oh, you were talking.
Then, fast forward, because this is going to be a long video, so fast forward to my junior year. I got a job at Victoria's Secrets in the mall. Not even like that. It was like, I might as well get a job at Macy's. Like, it was just so PG. And I was getting my paycheck. It was spring break. And so we could only have a job during the spring. And when I went to pick up my paycheck, I saw this guy. This time I remember what you were wearing. Yellow pants. Little yellow basketball
Yellow. It's 2000, y'all. 2000.
Wife beater or t-shirt? T-shirt.
T-shirt
and
it was
a yellow hat. And so he's like walking, and our mall is like a big circle, like a big racetrack, and then you walk in the racetrack. And so God had his hand in this.
Yeah, big time.
Like, I just had that moment because of all moments for you to walk around that horseshoe.
And for me to come back to Fresno
that
and
day.
be at the mall at that time.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That was definitely God. He had his hand all in there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I saw somebody walking, somebody see me, and yes, do that number exactly. And I was irritated. I was like, I am so not in the mood for some guy to spit game right now. Like, I'm not in the mood. I just ran 5 miles. I'm tired. I smell. I'm just going to get my paycheck. Like, leave me alone, guy. And so I started walking, and he's walking towards me. I'm not making eye contact because I'm, like, irritated that some guy's going to try to, like, spit game at me. Did you know that I was ignoring you as I was walking? Do you remember?
Yeah, because I knew you didn't look at me. You didn't veer toward me. You just kept going straight. And you was like...
irritated. I was just irritated.
Yeah.
And
she was not trying to have it.
I was not. So then I recognized you, and I was like, Mike? And then...
floodgates.
I cried again right there?
Yeah.
Okay, that's possible. And probably because at that time, I wasn't drunk or tired. I was just, like I said, tired is what I was. 5 miles. And probably surprised to see you.
Yeah, you were ready to see me.
And so I said, here's my number. I might have hugged you. I might not have hugged you because I just ran 5 miles.
And I think you said that. You were like, I'm not going to hug you right now because I just ran 5 miles and I stink and this and that. And that's when you were crying.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. That makes sense.
But then you were like, but here, take my number. Don't treat me like I'm some hoochie and give me no 5-day waiting period.
Yeah, there's no time for that.
Yeah.
For what? Like, we knew each other. Even though we had never exchanged numbers before, I was like, there should not be this dumb season where you're like, I can't call her or whatever. I was like, nope, call me. And so then you called me that night, and then you had all the swag in the world. I was a virgin, but I would have dropped my panties for you that night. Like, seriously, I was like, I literally kicked you out of my apartment because I was like, you will not believe me. If I have sex with you tonight, you will never believe that I was a virgin, so get out of my house.
And she did. And she was like kissing me, pushing me out of the door at the same time.
Gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I was literally about to draw my eyes. I was like, this man better get out of my apartment. Nobody was there. Remember, all my roommates were gone.
Yeah, all the roommates
were
gone because it was spring break.
Yes.
Everybody was gone.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I kicked you out. I was like, you can't stay here because.
And then I got in the car and I was just sitting there like, I just kissed Shantea.
That's adorable. I didn't know this part of the story.
Yeah. I said I was gonna marry that girl and I just kissed her.
So then.
Oh yeah, because we went on a date the next day, right?
I don't remember.
We called it. I called you.
That.
Went to your place. No, I think I came back a couple of weeks later.
I think you came back a couple weeks later. I think we just talked on the phone from there.
Yeah.
My mom said, I don't know what his name is, but he's paying your cell phone bill. And she stopped paying my cell phone bill.
Hopefully you guys stay tuned to Life with the McIntyres, and we will be giving you more and more. All right.
Turn on the bells.
Yeah, turn on your notifications. Turn on your notifications because we're gonna have a lot of videos, some pretty cool stuff coming out. All right.
He's still humble.
What did I say?
Peace.
Peace. Life with the
Life with the McIntyres.